Oh my god, he has a gun.
It's time for more safe busting action.
More like busting some heads, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, I brought that back. Welcome to part 25 of the 999 playthrough. As I just said, Ace has a gun. He showed Lotus the gun. She went with him, and now they're not coming back. So
It's a really apt way to do it. See, Ace, he had a gun, and he wanted to show it to Lotus, and he showed it really close to her face. And when he showed it, Lotus was like, wow, that was a really nice gun. It's like, that gun is so nice, I'm going to walk with you and the gun through the door, because we're such good friends. And then they friendship walked with the gun. It'd be like throw a really weird reference out there. It's like a red versus blue, like a caboose recollection of 999.
I don't even know what that is referencing, and I can already imagine what it is. Oh boy. Also, June's having her little fever again.
Oh.
Yeah.
So how unopportune. Like, this is really inconvenient, June. There are things happening. People's lives are at risk at the moment, and you just go and just think the world has to stop for you and your little fevers.
I don't care for these proportions here. Like, goddamn, Santa's hands are fucking huge.
These are they're sonic proportions. My finger's as big as your nose.
Oh boy. Oh yeah, so we're gonna go out with 7 and let's leave Santa and June behind.
I mean, sure, we've had one character show their dishonest murder, why not? Just split up into different groups.
I guess. I guess.
Anarchy, trust no one. Free for all bitches.
I believe... Wasn't it like 4:30 or something when that whole Ace is the bad guy thing started, and now it's getting pretty close to closing time, guys.
Yeah, the time thing's kind of weird. Well, this is after 3 puzzle rooms, so yeah, this is late in the game, late in the evening, late at time. Just it's kind of that's what I like about this game. It all takes place in one night, 9 hours. It's in the title, and it sticks with it.
Yeah, it's maybe a little fast at how it creates all these relationships, all of these moments, all of these revelations within this time frame, but it's possible.
There's some theories to that. I mean, especially with this series and how memories work and all your memories. It can be rationalized. I mean, it would explain the whole, like, people who experience traumatic events or, like, high emotion events, they bond over that as well, too. Like,
yeah. That especially.
I mean, that on the more realistic side, and then on the more sci-fi side, just they are all experiencing a lot of memories at the same time that are all coming together. So, and they're kind of like best friends beyond time.
What kind of design is that on that coffin?
No idea. I don't know if they were going for anything in particular, for any sort of like sect of, I'm going to say, Christianity. I know coffins are not exclusively that, but I think that's what they're kind of going for. Not too sure. I'm like, because Free the Soul has some crosses on its uniforms, but I know that's not what they're going for with any of this. But
yeah, there are some slight religious overtones, I'd say, in regards to that group, and perhaps with the game as well. But that's for a different reason.
I mean, it's kind of weird, just like they do the whole brother-father thing, and that's kind of Catholic-y, so,
I wonder what the passcode for the coffin could possibly be.
I mean, it's not like we haven't heard a list of numbers already before. And it's not like Junpei is in some sort of super genius at memorizing numbers. Because he kind of is. I mean, I wrote this shit down. because I was scared.
Word of advice for all of you up-and-coming commenters out there. Acting dumb is always a good opportunity to fill space.
I don't know what we're talking about. Why talk about what we don't know? Well, with this game, it's easy because we don't know shit. We have to message the damn author on Twitter just to get some confirmations, and half the time, these troll answers are better than any answer we could think of anyways. Like, what's Evan's real name? Fuck it, Lady Gaga. What did Junpei study? Fuck it, Bitcoin. Like, I love that. I love that kind of... Like, you can either love your character so much and I'd be impressed, or you can just, like, not give a fuck about your character so much and I'll be just as impressed. Like, you know what? Just the least... That slim amount of fucks is also pretty cool.
He is a national treasure. Also, Snake's alive, as I said earlier, and he was in the coffin the whole time.
I'm so glad that was clarified in this timeline, at least.
Yeah, because he was like knocking away at that coffin, and the axe. No, not the axe. The knife ending. It was a knife ending, I think.
Oh yeah, he was. It's all bumping and wrestling there, and that's kind of sad though, because then in that timeline, that Snake dies, suffocation. Well, I don't know. I think the Nonary game would expire before, like, the air supply in the coffin, huh?
But how would they? I don't know if this would be a spoiler, but how, in the end of the 9th game, how would they take care of Snake? Would they just leave him there, or?
Yeah, I mean, just let him starve.
Yeah, starve, drown as well, I guess. I keep forgetting the whole thread of this is, oh yeah, we're all gonna drown if we don't get the fuck out of here.
Right, the boat is sinking. But for future reference, I think the only option is just kind of leave him there to suffocate or starve. Those would probably be the first things to get him, I guess. Although he seems resourceful. It seems like Snake would be a man who, like, eventually would bust himself out. It's just that we're so short on time that he probably just didn't have enough time to think of a good, smart blind man plan.
And also, once again, take note of what Snake is wearing, these particular robes. Once again, we may have mentioned them before, but they're Free the Soul robes.
Yeah.
Free the Soul robes.
Pre-actually Free the Soul existing, but yeah, kind of. Would this be a retcon, I guess? I mean, a pretty innocuous one, but yeah, a retcon that all the weird religious iconography going on with 999 is due to Free the Soul. I mean, I do kind of like that in this game there is an evil organization. It's Cradle Pharmaceutical, but there's not, like, an evil cult behind everything. Like it's not quite shadowy. It just seems like this is one huge grievance of, like, human rights violations. It doesn't seem like like a shadowy type deal. Virtue's Last Reward, when they use Free the Soul, like, then it becomes this whole shadow cult thing, like... It's a really ambiguous, it's a mass enemy. I don't know, I just like how much smaller of a scale the bad guy is in this. Like, it's personal, it's really sick, mean people. Not just, an evil cult doing these bad things. Like, no, it's like not all the bad people are bad monsters. Sometimes it's just really fucked up, mean people that want to hurt other people. And so I like that 999, the bad guys are more on that level, they're a little closer.
Do you think that 999 could have just stood as a game as its own completely and never had Virtue's Last Reward or Zero Time Dilemma at all?
Yeah, I think it would have worked out. I feel like it wouldn't have been as popular. Virtue's Last Reward really brought it out into popular, because Virtue's Last Reward was a real good step up. It was a positive step. I feel like without the sequels, 999 would probably be as popular as, like, Hotel Dusk. I mean, that doesn't have any sequels. I feel like it would be in that same level where it's, like, loved by people who know it, but just kind of forgotten to time. I feel like the sequels, for better or worse, keep the series alive.
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt you there, but I have to correct you. Hotel Dusk did have a sequel.
Oh, it did!
But it was only released in Japan and Europe. And from what I've heard, it's not quite as good either.
No,
yeah.
but see, it's also kind of fallen out though too. No more sequels from them. Didn't get anything on the 3DS. We had something from the same creator, yeah, but we've already talked about that episode.
God, it's been like, it's been a year and a half since that came out, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Huh. I guess we can only dream.
I know, we were all waiting for episode... I know I was waiting for episode 2.
Yeah, so going back to this, though, 7 had the number 0 bracelet, which Clover got off of 0, I guess. Let's call that
a body.
A body, I suppose. Not any blood on that bracelet, though, so it's a little bit suspicious. But as it turns out, it says 0, but it's not actually the number 0, because if it were the number 0, then 7 and Snake would have been able to get through the door with it.
Yeah, see, this is important, because this shows you that, much like an episode of Always Sunny, sometimes bracelets are liars. Sometimes bracelets tell the truth, and sometimes they just flat out lie. Get over it. Just, if you think someone's bracelet's something, now it's not, okay? Just get over it.
And I had the excellent foresight to waste all of your time by choosing all of the other options instead.
Yay!
But I decided to do it for... I don't even know why I did it. I recorded this shit like over 3 years ago, man. 3 years. Cut me some slack.
It's okay. You did the other options. It's clearly a visual novel game. The text is kind of the gameplay. It's kind of like why whenever I play Persona games, I do guides to get all the social links, because it's like that's the game. That's the meat. I'd rather just get all of it. It's like you maximize it like a chicken wing.
Yeah. And also, as it turns out, the number 0 bracelet is actually the number 6.
Oh, that casts suspicion on someone's bracelet, but no, I mean that person is it's sick. Sick people can't have suspicion, especially when they're our super best girlfriend, our buddy friends, our bunny buds. Right. Yep.
Yes. I believe you. I believe you. Seriously, I do.
Besides, this isn't about her. This is about Ace.
Yes.
And how he's bad.
Hmm.
And how we're gonna save Lotus. we hope.
Yeah, and it's a good thing that these two number 9 doors are completely separate, and you're still able to go into one door, even if the other door is occupied. Yep, that's all I got there.
No, it's kind of getting a catch up here from Snake, but really none of this is... I mean, it's more just setting up the situations, you know, we want to make sure we set up all the facts to clear everyone of each other's names. So it's like, how did you wake up? What condition were you in? What did you see? What did you hear? Just making sure we got all the facts laid out. It just kind of seems inappropriate to be doing that while we're chasing after the man holding the lady with the gun to her head.
And here's another thing. Snake couldn't actually... Well, he did go through the door with us, but according to the rules of the game, he wasn't supposed to be able to.
But...
Except it was on his left arm, and as we already know, that arm's a fake. So
nothing. He's safe. It's all good.
Nothing. Yep, he's all good.
The trickster. Tricky man.
Such a realistic-looking arm as well. They did a really good job with that.
I've seen people theorize that it's supposed to be, or not that it's supposed to be, that it foreshadows like the cybernetics that get introduced in the later games in the series. Which, sure, not for sure, I guess.
Yeah,
it's Zero Escape. Like, this game literally postulates in the second one that based off quantum mechanics, the past can change the, or what was it, that the future can change the past and all that other stuff. Like, what? No, like when they bring up that dice example, when you're like, what if by saying 3, you made it be 2? It's like, shut up. What? So, like, sure, why not? Everything in this game that you think foreshadowed things in the future, you're right. It's all a Schrodinger's cat. It was there.
Jeez,
it was
bro.
there.
Why do we like this series again?
Because only people with exemplary high Qs can appreciate 70 episodes of Zero Escape.
Indeed so. I mean, Rick and Morty is going to have a...
Fuck, 70.
They're running their money.
70 goddamn episodes. Nope. Nope. Oh no!
We're gonna...
Hey, Santa! Come to the door. Wait. Go get the thermometer. I need to see how hot it's gonna get in here. Hurry up. Make it quick. How do you prove a point? It's like, okay, Ace, you were saying? It's like, I sent Santa on a very important errand. Oh, we're getting some more lore, some more back lore. It's kind of a shame, though, that Lotus, who is very much well a part of this situation as well, kind of doesn't know the context. It's a little sad.
Yeah.
Like the whole timeline ignorance there.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, she almost could have. She's kind of sort of related to that. I mean, speaking biologically at least, but yeah, she never did quite understand what happened here, did she?
No, and does the game... I mean, the game just kind of implies by, like, her daughters were kidnapped 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
All of these events... 9 years ago. All the events... I don't know why would they bring it happen 7. All these events happened 9 years ago. Like, everything's tied together. So, like, by now you should already know that her daughters were involved in that event 9 years ago. So she's being held up by the guy who kidnapped her daughters.
That's kind of fucked.
Yeah, and she doesn't know that. She doesn't kind of really know that. So, like, could you imagine, like, I was sort of waiting for her to get let into the loop, because Lotus doesn't really get kind of into the loop of the knowledge that this would later be Carlos's, like, memories, but essentially the knowledge that we're gaining through playing the game, whatever consciousness that is, whoever you think you are in the context of the game, all this information we're gathering, like, none of that at any point is Lotus kind of clued into that. Like, none of the characters really, like, they all have these partial sets of info, but you get to, like, Virtue's Last Reward, and especially in Zero Time Dilemma, the characters start corroborating. They're like, okay, so in this timeline I did this, in this I knew this information, but, like, in this game, everyone's pretty ignorant of a lot of sub-levels of relationship.
Yeah, you're either on the level, you're in the know, or you're not.
Kind of in this game, and somehow Junpei, I guess... I would assume Junpei knows everything that we know by the end of the game.
Yeah.
Like the Junpei who helps... or the Junpei that finishes this game has all the memories that we have through playing the game. Correct? Is that a safe assumption?
Yeah, I would say so. I like how we're having this discussion just as Snake is getting capped in the face.
I mean, this is one of the better endings. It's kind of action packed. You see Ace and Snake square off. Aside from 7, you got the 2 most physically capable people in the room.
Yeah, and also, as you said before, Snake is just completely flipped out after Ace told him that he killed Clover.
Which, yes, Clover lost Snake and she turned into a homicidal maniac. Snake loses Clover, and Snake is a man that we know he could kill a man at least 10 different ways. just sort of unleash that fury. I mean, he's kind of playing at a disadvantage here. He's barefist against a gun, but Snake is a clever man. Like, I'm not even taking into account his blindness. That doesn't even matter. This is more. Exactly. This is more a thing of Ace has a gun, Snake does not.
Yeah, and
the fact that Ace used it at point blank range. And, Snake's pretty superhuman. Do you hear it? Do you hear it, Evan?
Oh, God. This is the first proper use of morphogenetic sorrow.
I'm so quantumly sad. I'm sad across so many timelines.
Oh, now, folks, it's time for you to let the emptiness inside of you just take control.
Oh, boo! Don't get so dramatic about it. It's a good song.
Yeah, I know, it's a good song, but I mean, come on, man. He gets shot to death.
5 times.
5 fucking times.
Dude, Snake is amazing. I don't even think 7 could take 5 bullets. I mean, Snake would. I feel like 7 could take 4. 5 is where he calls it quits.
I mean, probably at this point, it's all just the adrenaline and the endorphins just running through, and also maybe the fact that Ace has piss poor aim. But
yeah, I mean, he already has perception issues. I mean, aren't those? I know they're not like they're at least correlated, not really associated with like other visionaries. Maybe, I don't know.
I don't like how they just blur the leg and make it look as if he's kicking Snake when like it just looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, from this, I'm not 100%.
So, some of the action is a little weird. This scene is a little awkward, just because it is a high action scene with just pictures and text. I mean, welcome to a book. Use your imagination. But
well, yeah,
but this is a bit awkward. Just like, I don't know.
I mean, we do get the visceral sound of him kicking the shit out of Snake.
We get several flashes of white light while the picture shakes. I mean, how can you not think that he's kicking? But yeah, the blurry art's weird. You might as well just move the picture up and down to simulate the kick. You don't need to blur the leg out.
What kind of feelings were you feeling during this intense feeling session? The first time you went through, I should say.
It's just high intensity. Just Clover's dead. Snake is crushed, and he's just getting kicked by Ace, but he's just still going. But the buzzer's going off, like, whew. And this was my first ending. This was the first ending I got, and I was just dealing with all of this. Whew.
It's a hell of an impression. It's
like a little too deep. Because, well, I guess when I started the game, I looked up a guide to see, like, what do I need to do to get to final ending. I didn't really care if I got spoiled too much. I just want to know what were certain actions to get at least the true ending. I'm kind of weird about not getting bad endings the first time around. So I saw that you needed to get the safe ending first. I was like, alright, cool. Sounds good. I'll get the safe ending. I don't like the safe ending. The safe ending's a bully. The safe ending hurt my feelings.
Yeah. I think when I first went through this, I almost for a little bit, I legitimately thought that this was how it was going to end.
I thought that this kind of got me on the hopes that, like, maybe this game is going to end with just characters dying. Like, maybe I just kind of accept the 9th guy was dead. I figured, alright, then Snake and Clover are dead. That sucks. Like, because you know that there are other kinds of games where it's kind of like you try to minimize the number of people who die and stuff. Or that's how I thought the game was kind of working out when I first played. I thought it was like certain decisions would cause characters to die off, and you just had to prevent as many losses. Like, I guess I made some really bad decisions. I'm so sorry, Snake and Clover.
Yeah. I guess it was because it just felt so real. I guess I felt very, very big emotions with this scene. It was all very well put together and such. It's the kind of same reaction I had to when I got the fake ending in Justice for All. You know, that one.
Oh.
Which I also legitimately thought was the actual ending for a second.
Oh no, that's a sad ending.
Oh man, that certainly isn't a sad ending, though. I mean, him getting burnt to death, I'd say was well deserved.
I mean, after all those timelines.
you want your drugs, Ace? Here are your drugs.
Yeah, you didn't feel much of that fire. He was zonked out, bruh.
And, well, there go 2 more people. And I guess we're just now this emotionless husk that we were in the second. The submarine ending.
Yeah, I mean, I feel sort of emptiness inside. I feel like more things happened. The submarine ending is really suspenseful. This ending there's not much suspense. It's very thrilling. Instead, like, we get our action fight, we get all of our high emotions. The other one was a lot more cold in feelings.
Oh yeah,
but a lot more sick and twisted with everyone dead. This, nah. I feel sad inside. I feel things. The other one just left me feeling cold. Kind of sucks that we just sort of, left Clover's body too.
Yeah, just
kind of just leaving everyone's bodies.
I mean, what else could we really do with it? I mean, we left the other 2 bodies where they were. I know they just blown up into a million pieces, so taking them anywhere else would have been impossible, but still. Oh no, where did they go?
We told them to wait. June and Santa, those 2, you can't take your eyes off them. Kids these days, they're just so rude and impolite. Leave them by themselves, and they just wander off. Those 2.
Just because she gets a fever, she thinks she's all high and mighty. She doesn't have to stay where she is.
And she's our love interest, and we don't need those rival types around here. Nope, no Sasuke's to this Boruto's dad. But no, seriously, where the hell did they go?
I don't know. Let's go check in the church again, and maybe Jesus knows the answer.
They always say Jesus was the way. So, it's time to pay up. Time for some answers.
Oh, hey. There she is. I guess she wanted to get answers from Jesus as well.
Yeah.
That's not the altar, June. You're in the wrong place.
That's not how you pray. That's napping. You're getting them confused, Kanye.
Just because you have a fever doesn't mean you have to do this crap wrong. We'll show you how to really do it.
It's like, no. People with fevers wandering to a church is how saints are made.
Okay, she has a fever, so this was one of those fever dreams, I guess.
We are now playing as Kanie's fever-induced love sickness, like fanfic vision, because of her fever.
God.
It's like Junpei is all muscular and rippling, and like has perfect lips and eyes. It's like while the fever slowly roasts the frontal lobe of Akane's brain. just searing her mind. Just this glorious vision of Jumpy in her mind. The last thing she sees.
At least it's a positive image. I mean, okay, so I like how this ending plays out, especially this section here. It gives a nice little closure of some sort, I guess. I don't really care how they reuse the dialogue for the submarine scene. It kind of makes them look a little lazy, but
it's unnecessary. Like, this ending already feels like it's trying to do too many things. It's almost like they needed to figure a way to get them to not escape after that whole scene in the incinerator. Like, they just didn't know what to do, so they took the submarine ending and did it again. I guess to add a kind of to this ending since it's a required ending, but that just kind of invalidates the submarine ending. I feel that when you have multiple endings, you really shouldn't invalidate them. You even the ones that you canonically need, you should encourage getting the non-canonical endings. Like that should. So to invalidate one by just reusing it again and an already long ending, it's not the best idea.
Yeah, but at least we're not the losers in this ending. Zero's the loser. Backfired on him.
Right? Sucks to be Zero now. Hope he's.
Nice.
Hope he gets what's coming to him.
I hope he drowns.
I hope he feels all cold and shit because he's alone and miserable because he sucks.
You know who isn't cold and miserable?
Our best friend Katie, because she's dying of a fever.
And also dying of not being here.
Oh.
The fuck? Where the fuck did she go?
Oh, the rapture happened so quickly, man. Man, she converted so fast. It worked. Oh no, this is the Left Behind ending. We didn't accept Jesus as our personal Lord and Savior fast enough. No! Akane, you tricked us! You told us Allah was the light!
We should do the same thing before we get left behind as well.
Hurry, there's still time!
I gotta say though, they end it like this. I'll give him credit. That starts out with smoke, ends with smoke.
Here's my question. Here's my question. Why didn't that scene occur when we first entered the church when we saw Kanye laying on the floor? Like, why didn't we just come into the church?
Because the game hadn't ended by then. It was 5:59.
But I'm just saying, like, the scene where we saw Kaine, like, we went to the church just to leave the church, just to go back into the church. Like, that just makes it even more obvious that they just tackled that Akane scene on there.
I guess so, but it gives very decent foreshadowing towards the actual events of the game, because, yeah, this is a bad ending. Necessary, but it's a bad ending.
Yeah.
This
is... And this was one thing I was always curious about, is that I always thought it would be neat to, like, if we went back to where these endings were. Like, because in some of these endings, yes, Junpei is murdered, but some of these Junpei is just knocked out. So I thought, especially with this ending, because he's just gassed. So I thought, like, oh, cool, am I going to get some kind of information to go back to this now that he's wake up when he was post-gassed? This game doesn't do that, but it was neat to see that Virtue's Last Reward did do the exact same thing, where you would revisit, like, essentially, choices that went to endings and then quickly, like, save yourself at the last minute. That was one thing about Virtue's Last Reward I liked its time travel, that you did it to save yourself sometimes at the last second, and sometimes just to have information for a secret reveal. But, yeah. I like that. I like that the Zero Escape, that became their sort of niche of entertainment for me, is like time travel during escapes.
It's the best of both worlds.
Yeah, I get all my gruesome time travel related deaths and all my like cool sleuthy time travel switcheroos that were. It's like a magic trick. It's a cool little time traveling magic trick.
Alright, you gotta check out the preview for the next couple parts. Luckily, the game did it for us.
God, this is such a weird product of its time for games to have ads in their own game. Like, what is it? Sonic Adventure 2 does this, has trailers in its own game for the other timelines. Like, what's the point of doing that? Why are you advertising your game? In your game, and not even in a weird, like, Super Troopers kind of like or Metal Gear Solid 4. Like Metal Gear Solid 4 did it the right way, where it had like ads that immersed you in the world of the game. But the part's over though, so I'm gonna shut up about that.
You gotta get going on, but I mean, maybe there was an option there to buy the game within the game, so now you have another game within the game. It's the same game, but
oh no, no, those people have to survive 27 hours. There's 27 people.
Fuck.
And it's just an infinitely bigger game inside each game.
Alright, my dudes, we are on the home stretch here. We still got a couple parts left, but we'll see you for the final path of 999.